Things with Milana LeBeau, where this evening we are discussing the deaths of the three students who reportedly passed away at Oxford Township. Um, this occurred 35 miles north of Detroit in Michigan. A 15-year-old is in custody. What was the main issue that caused a shooter to feel like there could be no forgiveness, or what was disturbing the shooter's mind to the point where this ever happened at all? This very tragic shooting that left 3 dead. What was going on in the shooter's mind? Were they feeling like they had been hurt? Did they feel the need to do something so final for this life that we are currently living? What is going on? What was going on in the person's mind, the shooter's mind? I just like to start off with delving in to see what was going on. Was there something that led this student to feel wronged, or, even feeling wronged to do this, to go forwards, to move forwards with this tragic, this heinous act? 9 of Swords is coming in as the rationale that encompassed the shooter's mind. This is about taking only what you need in life, only what you need in situations, whether you feel that you deserve some sort of respect or what have you. This is where this person was. This is about subterfuge. This is about editing in some way, trying to edit his or her life here. This is about losses and cutting your losses. And this person has this energy coming in, which signifies that they kept their plans about this to themselves, that they were quite sneaky. This is 7 of Swords energy. And this is someone who wants to choose from the best, wants to choose a good life, even if it means taking the lives of others. So that's what I wanted to begin with. Thanks for tuning in live. So out of the 3 who passed, who did their angels bring in, their spirit guides bring in to comfort them in their final moments? Those awaiting them in the afterlife, coming in as an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. Some something an air sign said or did, or the place that they had in this person's life. It's coming in as the energy that comforted one of the students. There's also another air sign of Aquarius with Gemini coming in, that energy with their guardian angel during this really violent event that took place. And then there is someone who stood for justice coming in as well. An angel of justice, or someone who justice was very important for them. And the spirit representing justice came in for comfort. Also, a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries memory likely came in as well. What would each of these students say was very important to them in their lives? Traveling is coming in as being something where there was emphasis placed in an activity that was really enjoyed. Also, the Ace of Pentacles, those who they felt emotionally attached to, coming in as very important. Also, with one of the three who passed away, they felt like being generous to others and being forgiving to others was very important. One of them, the one who travel was very important to one of the students, and one of the deceased also not only enjoyed travel, but I'm getting that they liked to complete things. So they felt a sense of, they felt it was imperative to complete things that they had begun, just in general. Also, the Queen of Pentacles, that's coming in. Someone may have had a mother figure that was, they were very, very close to, as well, with this Queen of Pentacles coming in. The Queen of Pentacles also stands for doing things like decorating, material goods, shopping, things of that nature, health, attention to their health and to their physique and physical concerns in general. All of that is coming in as things that attention was placed on by someone. What interest is coming in as far as what they wanted to do in the future? Overall, what's the energy coming in? Overall energy is just being patient, being temperate, not doing too much of this or too much of that. Something having to do with patience. There was patience coming in as the bottom line with possibly in the future, one of them would have studied or worked with others, and patience would have been required in whatever work they chose to do. Also, the Knight of Swords is coming in. I'm getting that someone probably would have worked with students or children, period. Patience is coming in. It could have been someone working with those who were sick, shut in, require some type of patience. There are many jobs that require patience. There's also the Four of Cups coming in, along with the Knight of Swords. With this could be a masculine energy who one of the deceased was close to. Also very emotional energy, emotionally attached as well, coming in with the Swords and Cups. I do want to offer my condolences. This is a very tragic event, and it's, suffice it to say, I'm sending up prayers for the people involved. With the Knight of Pentacles, other energy coming in is of being realistic. Gradual evolution was going to help whatever problem was going on to be remedied, to be resolved at some point. And it was going to bring in more of a pleasant set of a more pleasant consciousness, as well as better circumstances. But this was something that was going to take patience, something that is coming in as some general energy that could have been mustered up by one of these individuals. All right. And with the Knight of Pentacles, it just requires time, for evolution to take place. There is dependability coming in with one of them, which could have been utilized in future work. So someone was very dependable. Someone did have some patience that was being developed. They did have patience. So those are two things that are definitely coming in. And the Four of Cups as well, coming in with all that emotion. It's thick. There's thick energy coming in, emotional energy there. That's the best way for me to describe it. The Four of Cups also indicates stability in the world of emotions for the most part. Just a lot of emotional energy there. There may have been some unseen opportunities that were not grasped all the way. There may have been a little bit of indifference because there was so much emotional energy there. There may have been some sulking. However, understanding situations where people feel a little bit salty. This was going to be what helped this person in the long run to do something in the future that helped other people who were not in good places. There's a sense of tiredness as well as boredom going along with the Four of Cups here as well. So this person would have maybe livened things up in a position at some point. Had they continued to live, what would they say they learned in life? Things that stood out. So something emotional is coming in, and something about money too is coming in. So they learned, one person learned something about finances, and the other two learned something carrying emotional significance. So, they were coming in as on different paths, learning different things, and that's what's coming in here. So there's the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Five of Coins. Five. The Five of Cups represents emotional addictions to people, things, and habits. So I feel like it's safe to say that one of them learned something. They were put in a position to learn something about addictions to people who, weren't really good for them, as well as habits that perhaps weren't good for them. So one of them would say they did learn something along those lines. And the Seven of Cups signifies something about a real world consequences. They learned to deal with consequences. They learned to come up with things that were inspiring as well through their daydreams, making things reality. And that's very wise, beyond their years with this, learning about consequences of their actions and how dramatically things could take a turn for the worse. So this is something coming in here as well. And then there's the Five of Coins. And as I was stating, the Five of Coins means that there was something that they learned from something having to do with something monetary. And something else coming in that they learned has everything to do with low points. There was something that happened at the lowest point of a relationship, and this person learned from it. It was a very big lesson. It was a challenge. There was also some poverty present. with the Five of Pentacles. So they possibly help someone else. They learned something about poverty or they experienced poverty. And it was a lifelong lesson that they were able to glean some wisdom from as well. So that's looking at them individually. What else were they placed in? A situation to learn from, or what else did they encounter? So they were placed in a position to, one of them, learn something that was going to strengthen them. Learn something that was going to help them to move forwards in companionship, in adventure, and yet still keep in mind that there's danger sometimes present. The Fool doesn't always see that in optimism. And the Page of Cups is coming in as well. So definitely an emotional lesson with the Page of Cups. There's also psychic insight. There is sweet and friendly energy as well. This is an original personality who doesn't really care about what others think that much. Very sensitive and open to the world in general, though. Innocence and playfulness is represented there. So one of them was placed in a position to tap into their intuitiveness, tap into their imagination, and be playful as well, as keeping in mind that some people just weren't going to really cater to a spirit of friendliness necessarily. However, that's what's coming in here. They were placed in a position to just play and enjoy life more, even knowing, having an inkling sometimes that things were a bit uncanny or not perfect. And with the Fool, it is about the journey. It's about being able to obtain a fresh start, in a sense. This is about personal experience and self-expression. So one of them was being placed in a position to really express themselves or learn from self-expression. So one was placed in a position to not only learn to be more playful and intuitive, but to accept the playfulnesses of others. One was placed in a position, or was going to be placed in a position, to learn from. I'm getting that they were in a position that required them to develop more strength. And then again, the other one was on a journey of personal experience, learning very deeply, put in a position to learn about adventure and the danger that comes along with it, as well as, just being true to their own personal experiences. So it's very complex. the things that they were dealing with in their lives, um, the places that they were put in. What can we learn as outsiders looking in? To what has happened. The Ace of Cups is coming in, which signifies that emotion, should never be underestimated. The Ace of Cups stands out quite a bit because of its emotional significance. It's also here to remind us to be honest with ourselves and others, as much as we feel is possible, to lean towards it, to feel our emotions without reacting as much as we can, because when we're reacting, other people connect to it. They feel it intensely a lot of times as well. This is about opening our heart and soul to others, being generous, showing heart, allowing love to help us to try to understand one another's feelings and to not hold anything back, to try as we might to be able to understand one another and accept one another individually for who we are, even in difficult times. Thanks for tuning in.